Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk with you about a step that people do in canning that is a huge waste of time and no one needs to do it. I'm Jenny and I blog at The Domestic Wildflower, and I love helping beginners get started with homemade foods and crafts. And I'm going to be talking about a step that you've probably seen a lot of people do, or you might remember your grandma doing, or you might seem very familiar to you. The step I'm talking about is simmering your canning lids. So, some people have super strong feelings about simmering their canning lids because they've always done it, or because their mother did it, or because they think you're supposed to do it, or they think it's not safe if you don't. And you can check it out on Ball Canning's website that you have not needed to simmer your canning lids for any reason since the 1960s. It used to be that the flange, the rubber flange on a canning lid, was made from a material that needed to be like warmed up and softened before the canning process. And in the 60s, they switched to a different flange material, plastisol, and now you don't have to simmer them. But as long ago as the 1960s was, you would be shocked at the number of people who insist that you must simmer your canning lids for safety, to sterilize them, for all these reasons that were never the reason required by Ball Canning in the first place, and certainly not required now. Simmering your lids is a step that takes time. It takes a separate pot, and it's completely 110% not necessary. One reason that it seems like you might be, like, if you didn't know any better, you'd think, maybe I'm supposed to do this, is because in a utensil kit that you would purchase if you were getting started canning, or maybe if someone gave it to you, there's a tool, I don't even have mine anymore, or I'd show it to you, that comes in the kit that is a magnet on the end of it's like a pen, like pretend like this is a blue stick of plastic. On the end there's a magnet, and you would use that tool to lift up your canning lid out of the simmering water. So if you're getting a beginner canning utensil kit and it comes with a lid lifter, certainly the implication is that you're supposed to be simmering the lid, right? You don't have to do that, and you haven't had to do that with Ball Canning lids or any of that two-piece lid systems since the 60s. So I think that is one of the reasons why that idea has persisted, is because those lid lifters are still sold. And it makes the kit seem more valuable, right? If you're getting this extra tool that is completely 100% useless, give it to your small child and they can like stick it to other magnetized objects, because there is no reason for you to have it. It's completely useless. So that whole step of simmering your lids is completely unnecessary, no matter if you're pressure canning, water bath canning, steam canning, no matter what your recipe is, you never need to do it. If someone tries to say to you, well, you have to sterilize your lids, that's also not true. Unless for some reason you're processing a recipe that the total process time is under 5 minutes, to sterilize your jars and lids, you need to process for 10 minutes or boil them or sterilize them beforehand. I live above sea level, so I'm adjusting for altitude. So I have to add time to my processing time. So I'm never encountering that issue, but if you lived at sea level and can something really acidic in a small jar like cranberry juice, you might be faced with that choice. If it were me, I might just can it for 10 minutes and then just not have to sterilize anything beforehand, and then it's sterilized as it's processing. So anyway, if you have any questions about simmering your canning lids and skipping this huge time-wasting step, I'm happy to help. You can fire away, send me a question. I have a blog post about it on my blog, The Domestic Wildflower. Just type in simmer canning lids, or I'll link it here for for you, and I have a free canning basics course that I'd love to invite you all to join. It's really good and it's free and easy, and I teach you all the stuff that you don't have to do, like this, and the fast way to get started canning. So have a great day, and I'll be sharing more canning basics with you soon.